Hey y'all. So we're going to be taking a look at your upcoming Mabon season, but before we do, a couple of announcements. So first of all, I got a treat for you guys. So I developed a quiz to help you determine what your strongest clairs are. So your clairs are your intuitive abilities in terms of clairvoyance, how you see intuitive information, clairsentience, how you feel intuitive information, and so on and so forth. So if you are curious to see what your strongest clairs are, and then get a little bit of information about how to strengthen them further, develop your other clairs, and then also some information on what my strongest clairs are and exactly how I use them to read on the channel, go get your free quiz. The link is in the description box below, and then let me know your results. I really love to see and hear like what you guys' results are. I love talking clairs all day long, so that link is in the description box below. Secondly, I reopened availability for personal readings. I sold out of the first round that I opened up a couple weeks ago, so I put some more availability up, and once those go, I'm gonna have to shut it down, and then hopefully I'll be able to do it again sometime in the future, but I never quite know when. So I love connecting with you guys personally, so if you guys want to sign up for a personal reading, that also, you guessed it, is a link in the description box below. I look forward to connecting with you. So those are the announcements. Now on to the meat. So we're going into Mabon season, right? So Mabon is a beautiful time as the wheel turns, where we're going into the autumnal equinox here in the northern hemisphere. Flip it for the southern, of course. But in the northern hemisphere, this is when we have equal times of day and night, right? So think about the justice key on the tarot, right? We are moving from Virgo season into Libra season. Libras are the justice key. It's about the scales. It's about balance, right? Which brings it back to that idea of the autumnal equinox and how we begin our descent into the dark time of year. So there's going to be a lot of themes of this time of year in these readings is what does balance look like for us? What is our relationship to the dark time of year? What is our relationship to the unknown and all of the aspects of the things that we can and can't see within the moonlight and the sunlight and all of those aspects of what duality and balance and dark and light brings up for us in our day-to-day and also our spiritual experiences as well. Because as we move forward in the wheel of the year, after that, we have my favorite time, Samhain, aka Halloween, and then we're moving forward further and further into the dark times. Samhain is also the beginning of the new year in the pagan world, my world. So it's a really beautiful time where this is, beginning with Mabon. It's a lot to be excited for. It's a lot to look forward to, and also I find it's a really beautiful opportunity for us to take a really healthy inventory of how we're doing, right? We're going into the last quarter of the year. How are we doing? How have we achieved balance? How are we feeling, right? How can we adjust our equilibrium or just observe our equilibrium, right? And move forward with an energy that feels balanced and grounded and inspired through the rest of the year, right? It's kind of like a, like a last call for the last quarter of the year before we're going into January and we're in a new numerical year. So it's a beautiful opportunity to really take stock and really ask those questions and really consider our relationship to what is seen and unseen. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at your upcoming Mabon season. Hey Scorpios, how y'all doing? We're gonna be taking a look at your Mabon season here. So an image that's coming to me immediately is that of a peregrine falcon. So peregrine falcon, I'm seeing it visually as how they are kept, with that hood on, like blindfolded. And then when it's time to fly, the blindfold comes off. And I keep hearing that for you, Scorpio, during this time. It's, leading up to your birthday season, of course. It's that aspect of like, I can't believe I didn't see this before. But it's really more about seeing things when you're ready to see them. Things becoming clear in a divine timing sort of context. And then being able to see a lot more clearly because of this one thing that comes into full view. Really interesting. Let's go ahead and see what the animal energy is. Animal energy for Scorpio. Oh, really? It's perfect. So You have the Fox coming in for you, which is so brilliant and on the nose because look at those eyes. Fox energy is very much about seeing solutions to things and coming from a clever point of view that nobody else has access to. And because of it, like achieving things and having a easier, route around obstacles because of that point of view. The Fox mindset, being able to have those clever solutions to things, really comes from daring to think differently or do things differently, even if and especially if they go against the status quo in some way. The fox, if you think about how foxes are, in a lot of, stories and fairy tales, they're known as what? Tricksters, right? Can't really trust them, right? They're a bit shifty, right? What's that fox gonna do? Fox got in the hen house, all of that. But if you think about that energy coming in and harnessing it, saying, no, I want to work with this Fox energy because Fox is willing to go places in thought, mind, and deed that other animal energies are not. And that is why they have access to all this potential and possibility that a lot of others don't, because they're willing to go there, right? There's something inherently taboo and what they're willing to do to achieve their own ends. And there's something in that feels like it could be very powerful for you. Now, Fox also links into the Magician key in the Tarot, which is about using the tools at your disposal to create the life that you desire through your own force of will and desire and purpose and effort, right? So it's that beautiful energy of stepping into that masculine force of, I am taking action around things and understanding where all of my gifts and talents and resources lie, and then being willing to use them accordingly as I see fit, not as anybody else sees fit or anybody else is telling me to, but as I see fit, even if and especially if it goes against popular opinion, right? Really nice. I like Fox energy quite a lot. Okay. Let's see what's going on, Scorpio. Oh. Right. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we got the Three of Wands here, which is really, really brilliant. It's brilliant fire energy here. This is about you've set a certain foundation around something, whether it's the work that you love to do or personal progress. The Wands are about whatever excites you and fuels you and sets off that divine spark within you, gets you up in the morning, right? You've set the foundation, and then this is help coming in because you've done the work and you've laid the plans, and then someone else, whether this is, someone actually like in human form coming in or in some way, shape or form, comes to your aid, an opportunity coming to your aid to help you build upon, 'cause you've gotten as far as you can with what you've done and where you're going. And then aid, the miraculous aid comes in. It's that part in the hero's journey where the supernatural help comes in, right? It's like that counsel comes in the hero's journey. You can look it up if you're curious, but it's an interesting aspect that's coming in for you around that with this Three of Wands. It's like the help arrives, the inspiration arrives, the way forward arrives, right? It's really nice. Three of Wands is beautiful energy, but can only arrive once you've put in the Two of Wands work, which you have, which is brilliant. Which leads to the Chariot. It's beautiful forward energy here. So this is Cancerian energy, and this is fast, forward, balanced movement, honey, which is perfect. Talking about Mabon in this balanced time of year, right? Equal parts night and day. It's absolutely perfect. But here's the thing about the Chariot. The Chariot will not and cannot move unless it knows where it's going. You have to enter in the stuff on the GPS, right? You got to be clear. It's about your intentions and your feelings lining up vibrationally so that you're not self-sabotaging, you're going against your own best efforts, and everything is in alignment. It's kind of like that aspect of like, you can't really manifest what you really desire unless you really check whatever obstacles you are creating, however you're getting in your own way, whether it's through like, I want this, but I don't really vibrationally feel like I'm worth it, so I'm not manifesting it, that kind of thing, right? We can really surprise ourselves if we really ask, like, do I actually want what I think that I want? And if I do, what in me is resistant or afraid of it that could be getting in the way? The way that the Chariot, this honey badger, is looking at this Three of Wands, it's like, oh, hey, I've been waiting on you. I do feel like there are going to be aspects about this movement forward that challenge you or ask you to switch things up. Chariot is about the home and the hearth. So this could be a move of some sort whether it's literally moving homes, or moving into a new position or moving into a new time of life. But it is about forward movement here. And also these chickens, which are a bit of a Six of Pentacles energy, which is about give and take and reciprocity. It does feel like you're part of a team that's either coming into your experience in your given circumstances, or a pre-existing team that you're really aligning with and going, let's do this. Like, we are on the same team and we are working together. It's really beautiful. Then you have the King of Wands, which is absolutely perfect to have in this position, because the King of Wands is a master of timing. And again, timing with the Chariot and timing of the Three of Wands can only happen once the two is in place. King of Wands is about, I know when to move, I know when to be still, I know when to say no, I know when to say yes, I know what's right for me, I know what's not right for me. And in that, the King of Wands never wastes time and never has any regrets, because you know what? You cannot force or rush a King of Wands. You can't slow it down either, right? It's that source of power. And the fact that we have like the crow on the crown, the head here, the crows are about accessing your intuition and then communicating your truth in a way that is very similar to kind of this Mabon, justice energy time of year, where it goes, no, I really need to speak out if something is imbalanced or out of alignment or out of accordance with the natural laws or unfair. And there's something about this where you're stepping into a point of power that says, like, I'm not going to accept anything that is below my own standards for what is right or what I am worth. And that is brilliant. Let's get some advice. Why don't we though? Some advice for Scorpio. I'm getting that if you really give some attention and observation to how you've made choices in the past, because I'm picking up for some of you that there's a people pleaser energy. And I feel like that may surprise some of you. It's like, I'm not a people pleaser. Well, really, really consider the choices that you made in the past that were made, if you're honest with yourself, in order to please others. And I feel like you're being made aware of that and stepping out of it and coming from a place of power around it. And that fox is going, let's look at it. Let's take a look. What others don't want to look at, I want to see right up close. There's nothing too taboo for the fox, right? Let's get your advice. Right. So your advice is the Ace of Swords, right? Not surprised. So Ace of Swords is that big moment of truth, of clarity, communication. This can be contracts, opportunities. But again, we were talking about communication and also having those revelations of honesty and truth with them for yourself. But this is also the Ace of Swords is used to cut away things that are either getting in your own way or don't serve you. I'm really hearing to be honest to yourself to a fine point about what do you desire, and then what within you may be resistant to it, or what could use some TLC, right? There's something in that's it, but it's a small impediment. It's a small impediment. And your advice is this can take a lot of different forms. This is different for everybody, okay? My Ace of Swords is probably different from your Ace of Swords, but however you Ace of Swords, a lot of people find, and with the Ace of Swords coming up, journaling can be a brilliant way to get to the fine point and truth of something. It's having a conversation with yourself. This can be journaling. This can be, communicating with yourself in meditation, whatever this is for you. This can be sitting down and looking at cards and really meditating on them around questions that you have or points of purpose. There are aspects of yourself that are wanting to be looked at, and I keep getting the fine point. And I hear get to the point. And I don't mean like, come on, it's enough talking, get to the point. I mean, get to the point of purpose. Get to the point of purpose, right? Because you're being aligned to something. And I do feel like it's work related and or home related, but it's definitely part of your, purpose and path that is on the other side of you clearing out some, misguided notions about things. I feel like I'm saying that very delicately, but I feel like that's going to be different for different people. But there's something that wants to be cleared out and going, oh, okay, I co-create all of my experiences. And I'm going to leave it there because I co-create all of my experiences. That is what you're being asked to really to consider that statement and the truth of that. Okay, that can be very healing when you look at things from that lens. Let's get an oracle. I'm feeling like a divine feathered messenger. Oh, I love. Okay. Ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. I'm obsessed. We were talking about that clarity with the Ace of Swords and the wisdom with the King of Wands, and I follow with the Chariot here. This is brilliant. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. But it's about connecting to that truth and connecting to that heart space. What I also take from this is, you know what doesn't lie? Your heart. And as a Scorpio with that water energy, you have a direct line and really healthy access to it. So look at this powerful animal as well, like paving the path. I love that you got like the, one of the few birds in here that doesn't actually fly, but has really powerful legs to propel itself forward, their own little chariot. So I really like that for you. So this is really beautiful, Scorpio. I feel like what's on the other side, I feel like this is like a boot camp for like young entrepreneur minds. It's like, hey, you got something to like, you have a destiny here. let's get to the point of it and get to the right and kind of pave that way and clear it for yourself. It's a lot of movement. It's a lot of excitement. I'm feeling increased revenue or income opportunities as well. It feels really good. Could be connected to writing, a contract offer, something getting raised or like improved upon, or something around like a contract, a partnership, or even for a new home. There's something about that tied into that, where you're getting recommended for something through word of mouth. Could be Three of Wands as well. Okay. Woo! That being said, Scorpio, I'm wishing you a very happy Mabon. Just one more reminder, if you would like my free quiz on how to determine your strongest clair and some exercises on how to utilize that, and then a little bit of tea on what my strongest clairs are and how I use them when reading on the channel, the link to that free quiz is in the description box below. And do let me know your results because I'm curious and I like to know. Also, I do have more personal readings available. I sold out of the first round, so I opened up some more for y'all. I don't do these very often, but I'm in a space where I have availability now. So once this round is sold out, I don't know when the next time will be, but I love connecting with you personally. Again, that link is in the description box below. I so hope that this reading helps and resonates. If so, please let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments. Talk to me. I love it. And with that being said, just like, share, subscribe. I'd so appreciate that. But thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, beautiful Scorpios, thank you. Thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.